What if I told you that some of the most valuable plants on Earth are so rare that a single kilogram can sell for more than gold? That hidden in forests, mountains, and remote valleys are plants so powerful, so scarce, that governments protect them and collectors will pay fortunes to obtain them. Most people walk past these plants without ever realizing their true value. They see leaves, roots, or flowers, but the right buyers see something completely different. They see medicine, luxury, rarity, and opportunity. Today, I'm going to show you 8 rare plants that are worth more than gold per pound. These are not ordinary crops, and they are not easy to grow. Some take years to mature, some demand specific climates, and some are so rare that only a handful of farmers in the world truly know how to cultivate them successfully. But for the few people who understand these plants, the rewards can be extraordinary, because when something is rare, difficult to grow, and demanded globally, its value skyrockets. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden side of plants, the crops that most people overlook, but the smartest growers quietly profit from. Before we begin, tell me in the comments where you're watching from, because rare plants grow in different regions around the world, and knowing your climate could determine which of these opportunities might actually work for you. Now let's begin with a plant that has fascinated collectors, herbalists, and traders for centuries. A plant so valuable that entire expeditions have been launched just to find it. Plant number 1, Himalayan Yarsagumba. High in the icy mountains of the Himalayas, where the air is thin and the ground remains frozen most of the year, something extraordinary happens beneath the soil. A strange organism grows there that looks like half plant and half insect. Locals call it Himalayan gold. Yarsagumba is not just rare, it is legendary. This fungus parasitizes caterpillars underground, slowly replacing the insect's body while a tiny stem grows out of the soil. When harvest season arrives, thousands of collectors climb dangerous mountain slopes, searching for these tiny brown stalks barely visible above the ground. And the reason they risk their lives is simple. A single kilogram can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Traditional medicine markets in China and across Asia prize Yarsagumba as a powerful tonic believed to boost energy, stamina, and longevity. Wealthy buyers compete for high-quality specimens, and the global demand continues to outpace supply. What makes Yarsagumba so valuable is not just its rarity, but how difficult it is to harvest. It only grows in very specific alpine environments above 3,500 meters, and collectors must search by hand across vast mountain terrain. In many villages across Nepal and Tibet, the Yarsagumba harvest season is considered the most important economic event of the entire year. Families leave their homes and set up temporary camps in the mountains, spending weeks scanning the ground for these tiny stems that can change their financial future. But Yarsagumba is only the beginning, because the next plant on our list doesn't grow in frozen mountains. It grows deep in tropical forests. And the moment you understand why luxury perfume companies fight over it, you'll realize why this plant is often called liquid gold of the forest. Plant number 2, agarwood. Deep inside the humid forests of Southeast Asia grows a tree that looks completely ordinary from the outside. You could walk past it 100 times and never give it a second glance. But under the right conditions, something remarkable happens inside that tree. When the tree becomes infected by a specific type of mold, it begins producing a dark, aromatic resin as a defense mechanism. Over time, that resin transforms sections of the wood into something incredibly rare: agarwood. And this wood is so valuable that high-grade pieces can sell for more than gold. Luxury perfume houses in the Middle East, Japan, and Europe prize agarwood for its deep, rich fragrance. It is used in some of the most expensive perfumes ever created, and the pure oil extracted from it, called oud oil, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars per kilogram. The reason for these extreme prices is simple. Not every tree produces agarwood. In fact, most trees never develop the resin at all. And even when they do, it can take decades for the wood to mature into the dark, fragrant material buyers want. This uncertainty makes agarwood incredibly scarce. For centuries, collectors searched wild forests, trying to find trees that naturally produced it. Today, modern farmers are beginning to cultivate agarwood plantations, carefully inoculating trees with the right fungi to trigger resin production. When done correctly, a single tree can eventually produce wood worth thousands of dollars. But mastering this process requires patience and precision. Because agarwood doesn't reward quick profits, it rewards long-term vision. Yet even agarwood is not the rarest treasure nature can produce. Because the next plant on our list grows slowly, quietly, and almost invisibly on the forest floor. But when it finally reaches maturity, collectors will pay astonishing prices for it. Plant number 3, wild American ginseng. Hidden beneath the shade of hardwood forests in North America, grows a plant that has shaped trade routes for centuries. American ginseng. At first glance, it looks humble. A few green leaves, a thin stem, small red berries in late summer. But beneath the soil lies the real treasure, a twisted root that herbal traders consider one of the most valuable medicinal plants in the world. For more than 300 years, wild American ginseng has been exported to Asian markets where traditional medicine practitioners believe older, wild roots contain powerful health benefits. Age matters. The older the root, the more valuable it becomes. Some roots take 10 years or more to mature, and the most prized specimens develop unique shapes and wrinkles that signal slow natural growth in the forest. Collectors sometimes pay thousands of dollars for a single pound of high-quality wild ginseng. This demand has created a strange and secretive culture around the plant. In parts of the Appalachian Mountains, experienced ginseng hunters quietly search forests each autumn looking for mature plants. They guard their harvesting locations carefully, passing knowledge through families for generations. But because wild populations have been heavily harvested, many regions now regulate or restrict collection to protect the species. That scarcity has only pushed prices higher, and farmers who successfully cultivate forest-grown ginseng are stepping into one of the most valuable herbal markets on Earth. But the next plant on our list may surprise you, because it grows in some of the harshest desert environments in the world. And despite its tough appearance, collectors consider it one of the most powerful medicinal plants ever discovered. Plant number 4, Hoodia. Across the dry deserts of southern Africa grows a strange cactus-like plant that has captured the attention of scientists, pharmaceutical companies, and collectors around the world. Hoodia. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a rugged desert succulent covered in small spines. But for centuries, the indigenous San people have known something remarkable about this plant. When traveling across long desert hunting routes, they would chew small pieces of hoodia to suppress hunger and thirst. For people walking across scorching desert landscapes for days at a time, this plant was survival. When researchers discovered this traditional knowledge, global interest exploded almost overnight. Pharmaceutical companies began studying hoodia's natural appetite-suppressing compounds, hoping to develop weight loss treatments from it. Suddenly, a plant that quietly grew in remote deserts became a global commodity. Demand skyrocketed, but supply remained extremely limited. Hoodia grows slowly and requires very specific desert conditions. Overharvesting in the wild quickly became a serious concern, forcing governments to regulate and protect natural populations. Today, licensed growers who cultivate hoodia under controlled conditions have access to a specialized market that still values authentic, high-quality plants. And the rarity of naturally grown hoodia continues to keep prices elevated. But deserts are not the only place where rare botanical treasures hide. Because the next plant on our list grows in one of the most remote and mysterious ecosystems on Earth, dense tropical forests where sunlight barely touches the ground. Plant number 5, black turmeric. Most people have heard of turmeric, the bright yellow spice used in cooking, medicine, and health supplements across the world. But hidden in parts of India and Southeast Asia is a far rarer relative known as black turmeric. Unlike the common variety, black turmeric produces deep bluish-black rhizomes beneath the soil. And these unusual roots have been prized for centuries in traditional medicine and spiritual rituals. In many cultures, black turmeric is believed to possess powerful healing and protective properties. Because of its rarity, collectors and herbal traders are willing to pay astonishing prices for authentic specimens. Wild populations are extremely limited, and the plant grows slowly in very specific forest environments with rich soil and steady humidity. Farmers who successfully cultivate black turmeric are entering a niche market where supply is incredibly small but demand remains steady. And because most consumers have never even heard of it, those who control high-quality production often face very little competition. Yet even black turmeric is not the most mysterious plant on this list, because the next one grows high in cold alpine regions where the air is thin and the growing season is short. But when chefs discover it, they are willing to pay prices that rival luxury ingredients like truffles.
Plant number 6. Matsutake mushrooms.
In the cool pine forests of Japan, Korea, and parts of North America grows a mushroom so rare that chefs treat it like a culinary treasure. Matsutake. Unlike ordinary mushrooms that farmers can easily cultivate in controlled environments, matsutake refuses to cooperate with modern agriculture. It forms complex relationships with the roots of specific pine trees, and recreating those conditions artificially has proven extremely difficult. That means most matsutake mushrooms are still harvested in the wild. And that scarcity drives their incredible value. In Japanese markets, high-quality matsutake mushrooms can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars per kilogram. Especially early in the harvest season when supply is extremely limited. The aroma alone is what makes chefs obsessed with them. A powerful combination of spicy, earthy, and pine-like fragrance that transforms simple dishes into luxury experiences. Because cultivation remains so difficult, experienced mushroom hunters carefully guard their harvesting locations. Families pass down knowledge of productive forests from one generation to the next. But our next plant moves from forest floors to the world of luxury fragrance. And its scent has shaped some of the most expensive perfumes ever created. Plant number 7, sandalwood. Sandalwood trees have been valued for thousands of years, not for their fruit or flowers, but for the precious oil hidden deep within their heartwood. This oil produces one of the most distinctive and sought-after fragrances in the world. Warm, rich, and deeply calming. It has been used in religious ceremonies, luxury perfumes, cosmetics, and traditional medicine across Asia and the Middle East for centuries. But true sandalwood takes patience. A tree may need 20 to 30 years before its heartwood develops the high concentrations of oil that buyers want. That long waiting period discourages many growers, which keeps supply limited. And when mature sandalwood is finally harvested, the value can be extraordinary. High-quality sandalwood oil can sell for thousands of dollars per kilogram, making it one of the most expensive natural oils on Earth. Countries like India and Australia now manage sandalwood plantations carefully, knowing that each tree represents decades of slow-growing wealth. But even sandalwood is not the final treasure on this list. Because the last plant is something most people recognize instantly. Yet very few understand why it has shaped global trade, colonial empires, and billion-dollar industries. Plant number 8, vanilla. At first glance, vanilla looks harmless. A delicate orchid vine climbing quietly along wooden supports in tropical farms. But hidden behind its gentle appearance is one of the most labor-intensive crops in agriculture. Each vanilla flower opens for only a few hours, and during that short window, farmers must pollinate the flower by hand. Miss that moment, and the flower closes forever without producing a bean. This is why vanilla farming requires extreme attention and patience. After pollination, the beans must grow for months before harvest. Then begins the curing process, which can take another 6 months of careful drying and fermentation. But when done correctly, the result is one of the most valuable flavors in the world. Natural vanilla beans can sell for hundreds of dollars per kilogram, and high-quality vanilla is prized by food companies, bakeries, perfume makers, and cosmetic brands. What makes vanilla especially powerful for farmers is that once the system is built, vines can continue producing for years. Over time, a well-managed vanilla farm becomes not just a crop, but a long-term income engine. And that brings us to the bigger lesson behind all 8 of these rare plants. The most valuable crops in the world are not always the biggest fields or the fastest harvests. They are the plants that combine rarity, difficulty, patience, and global demand. Because when something is rare, valuable, and hard to produce, the people who master it don't just farm. They build wealth.